Hello and welcome to the Experiencing Love podcast. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. So from my realization from yesterday, I started a new practice this morning. It's just simply adding a 30-minute meditation every day before I do my priming and reading my poster and starting to record my podcast. In this meditation, I just listen to some music and I reconnect with my archetypes. I reconnect with my king and my lover and my magician and my warrior. I use them to slow down my mind because I find that my mind is often so busy with so many different thoughts, so many different ideas racing around that it can be distracting. It could take away from what I'm actually trying to do. Sometimes I could almost equate it to the magician taking in so much information from myself and from the external world and is just constantly giving ideas to the king. Some of the ideas land and some of them don't. Sometimes the magician is giving that information to the lover to see if emotionally I feel a decision, I feel a choice, I feel an option. The magician is incredibly good at compiling all the information that we take in on a day-to-day basis, hour to hour, minute to minute. But it could get loud in my head, especially when the fifth voice, my voice, the ego, can step in. Sometimes that voice is stepping in and it's the voice of reason or it's the voice of doubt. It takes a lot of strength and courage to stand by your beliefs and your faith. And when I say faith, I don't just mean in a religious sense, I mean in a general sense of believing in something bigger than yourself and believing it for a reason that you don't understand. That's what I mean when I say faith. When I practice my faith and when I practice my beliefs, it's me saying that there's something bigger happening than I understand. And I believe that I'm going in the right direction. Or I believe I'm going in the direction that I'm meant to go in. Ironically enough, sometimes we need to go in the wrong direction. And it's for a reason. Because sometimes going in the wrong direction gives us some of our greatest gifts in life. Because it gives us moments of extreme pain, extreme suffering. And of course, it never feels good in the moment. And for many people, even after it doesn't feel good, anytime they reminisce those moments or what they might call mistakes. But they're the greatest gifts because if you're able to shift your focus, change the meaning of the experience, see it as an opportunity and a gift, and you learn from it, those could be the most valuable lessons you learn in your life and the lessons that you teach to other people. I learn far more from one of my mistakes than I do from 10 of my successes. And I think that's saying something because I love my successes. I appreciate them. I celebrate them. They feel great and they're there to remind me that I'm going in the right direction. But they're not the most impactful thing in my life. By far, it has to do with the moments of struggle, suffering, pain, and discomfort. Being courageous is far more rewarding than just being happy. Being determined is far more rewarding than feeling pleasure. And it's because to feel something like courage and determination, you have to feel emotions that might not be comfortable. It might be fear for courage. It might be plain discomfort or an actual pain for determination. But in both those instances and both those emotions and in many more, you make it a part of you to push forward anyways. A creed that I've been living by for the past few weeks. It's a discipline, not a decision. No negotiations. That's not to say I don't make decisions in my life, but that's to say that they're decisions I made weeks ago or months ago. And in that decision, I said that it's no longer a decision. It's a discipline. It's something I'm sticking to and I'm doing. Whether I'm uncomfortable, whether I'm scared, whether I'm happy or excited, no matter what, I am sticking to this decision. That's the difference between a decision and a discipline. Because a decision, you have to make it every single time. A discipline, you make it once and you're done. There is no negotiation with yourself. You can negotiate with your parents, your siblings, your kids, your friends, your bosses, strangers on the street. You're making negotiations all the time. You're making decisions all the time. But you should not be making negotiations with yourself. Because the moment you make your first negotiation, you've created a crack in your discipline. And if you make a negotiation once, you'll do it again. You'll decide that, if this circumstance came up and 2 weeks later it comes up again, you'll say, last time when this happened, I didn't follow through with this habit. So this time I don't have to either. because these are the rules that I've created. And the more negotiations you do, the easier it becomes to negotiate. And that's when you have goals that just fall apart after 2-3 weeks of trying to stick to them. There's still many things that I'm working on, because I also follow that if you're not growing, you're dying. Everything in the universe is either growing or dying. Everything is either changing or dying. So I acknowledge that I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly changing, and there's constantly new levels for me to reach, new things for me to work on, and I'm always looking out for those new things. There's many different areas of life, and it's difficult to work on all of them all at once, so most of us prioritize about 2 to 3 of them at a time. We like to chunk it down, make it easy. Right now, the ones I'm working on the most are my physical health, my business, and then the third one would probably be relationships. I've also realized that I haven't been putting enough effort into relationships, because relationships are part of what drives me forward. And it's not just romantic, it's also relationships with friends and families and with yourself. But mainly it's relationships with other people. We're social creatures, and we can do things for other people that we wouldn't do for ourselves. That's part of the power of community and being with other people. We do more for the group than we do for ourselves. Anyways, that was a tangent, because I did want to say that there's still areas that I'm working on. And I know there's areas of my mind and ways of thinking that I have that still need to be examined. They still need to be understood and appreciated and embraced. One of those things that I acknowledge is that I still get, let me use a good word to describe this, to not put myself in that state. I could say tickled. I feel a bit tickled anytime I see someone say one thing and do another. Part of the reason that tickles me is because that's something I used to do. I used to be very misaligned with my words and my actions. Because of that, I felt very disconnected and inauthentic with myself. I'd say things like I want to eat healthy and go to the gym, and then I won't eat healthy and go to the gym. I'll say things like I'll call you later, and then I wouldn't call them later. I'll say things like relationships are the most important thing in my life, and then I would isolate for days at a time. So I changed that about myself. I became very, very clear and careful about what I say, because for me, what I say becomes a part of my discipline. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And when I don't, I feel awful. I feel terrible. I apologize, because I threw my words around, and words are incredibly powerful. I threw them around without consciously deciding what those words mean. So when someone tells me that they're going to do something, they're going to accomplish some goal, they're going to become some type of person, the best is when someone says, I'm going to change, and then they don't. They don't change, they don't accomplish their goals, they don't even make progress. I'm not saying it has to be instant. I'm not saying they have to do it overnight because they said it. But when someone uses words to convey a message, I expect action. I expect progress. Even if it's 2 millimeters, I want to see that you're trying. So it tickles me when words don't line up with behaviors, with actions. I've learned to value people's words less so, as much as I value their actions. I'll watch what you do, not as much watch what you say. But I'll also know the type of person you are if your words and your actions don't line up. I don't care how much you talk to me about the things you want in your life. If you're doing absolutely nothing to get there, what does that say about you? Because I reverse those roles for myself. If I say that I have a goal that I want to achieve and then I don't do anything about it, why did I even say it in the first place? What's the point? To convince someone that I'm better than I am? To convince someone that I'm going to get better than I am? I don't know, I feel like I got on this soapbox because that's just some of the stuff that gets on my mind from my king and my lover and my warrior and my magician. And when they work together, they're powerful. And we all understand the power of our words. I don't want to use words like bothered or even pissed off or upset, because words are so powerful. The more you use them, the more you feel them. I promise you this, if you examine the words you say on a daily basis, the words you say most often, especially about emotions, say you find yourself constantly saying, that pisses me off, or that's messed up, or that's screwed up, or whatever more vulgar language you may use. And how often do you feel those emotions associated with those words? Do you often feel pissed off? Do you often feel bothered or upset? Do you feel like everything in life is messed up? Or most things in life are messed up or screwed up? How do you feel about yourself? Are you bothered with yourself? Do you think you're screwed up? Do you think you're messed up? Or whatever other words you use? Or do you use words that are more inherently positive? That's what I've started to do. When I use the word tickled or tinkled, that is quite a devastating word in my language right now. I don't even use the word devastating that often, but sometimes I have to dip into the old dictionary to get the message across because I don't want to feel devastated. If when the worst things happen to me, I can say, that tickles me, or I feel tinkled. Where do you think I live emotionally? What do you think I feel on a day-to-day basis? When all hell is breaking loose around me and I have fires burning all around and problems on end, and someone asks me how I'm doing, and I say, all things considered, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing incredible. I say those things because I perform better when I'm feeling like things are going incredible and fantastic. I'm not ignoring the problems. I just choose to look at them from the state of mind of things are going incredible. Let's take this one at a time. Because truly, from the bottom of my heart, if I wake up in the morning, I've already won. If I had no problems, that means I'm on the way out. And that is a much bigger problem than anything that we could face nowadays. I'm still looking to live a long life. I'm still looking to make an impact. So as long as I have these, in comparison, tiny problems in my life, I'm going to be overjoyed. I'm going to feel fantastic. I'm going to feel amazing. I come into these episodes feeling love for you, feeling love for myself, feeling love for the world. The more I use the word love, the more love I feel. Love is a part of everything that I do. It's a part of my brand. It's a part of my persona. It's a part of my desires and my outcomes. It is a part of everything. And I did that on purpose so that I feel love all the time. Love is by far one of the most powerful emotions you can feel. When you feel genuine love, it is so hard, so hard to feel fear. If you're feeling fear, that means you're not feeling love. One of the best paths to love is gratitude. It's appreciation. You could try your hardest, but it's not possible to feel true gratitude and true appreciation and fear at the same time, and anger at the same time. If you try to tell me that, oh, I'm feeling really grateful and I'm pissed off, I guarantee you one thing, you're lying about one of those. And maybe you're still angry that you're lying. Fear lives in the head. Love lives in the heart. Gratitude lives in the heart. Live in your heart, not your head. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether there's sunshine out, or maybe the moon's out with the stars. Whatever time of day it is, and no matter where you are in the world, I hope you decide to have a beautiful rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And remember to fill up with the love. I love you.